Mindsets, the go-to podcast for everything real estate in your region. Join Daryl King of the top-ranking Daryl King team as we explore market insights, trends, and strategies. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious, this is your key to unlocking the property market. Let's dive in with Sharing Mindsets with Daryl King. Your real estate journey starts now.
This is a bit of an odd one, having it on a Monday, but I had to take a rare opportunity. My good buddy Dan Wood from BC was going to be in town, and it was sort of a last minute, and he agreed to come and share with the mindsets and share a lot of great information with us today. So let's give Dan a big hand, guys. So normally we'd have a much larger audience in-house, but being a Monday, it's not a day that they're trained to come in here. So let me just introduce Danny Wood. Danny Wood is a keynote speaker for global brands and real estate companies in both Canada and the US. His expertise is unmatched in the areas of marketing and technology for real estate professionals in the digital age. What sets him apart from others is his unique ability to take complicated subjects and turn them into actionable steps that are easy to follow, giving both seasoned vets something to take action on while at the same time not leaving the rookies in the dust. Dan currently owns Broker Nation, a company that serves hundreds of brokers, including ours, across Canada and the United States, offering in-house training. So done for you marketing and live events, his archive and catalog hundreds of training programs on topics such as digital marketing, lead follow-up, social media, artificial intelligence, which we'll be talking about today. So just to name a few, Danny's impact as a speaker has not gone unnoticed, and he's consistent as voted as one of the top speakers in the events that he's going on this week. He's got 4 days that he's going to be out at all different brokerages across for 5 days, right? So let's welcome Danny. And the great part is I met Danny many, many years ago, and so I can call him a very good friend. We went for Chinese food last night. I was blessed to have him over. He stayed over and took him up by the lake and took him by my little Lake Wilcox, and he got a picture of the sunset and that with me. So it was kind of fun. So, and he spent in the morning with the marketing department just going over some things. So Danny, thank you very much for being here. It's always an honor to see you. I love you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you all.
Go ahead, say a word or 10. Right?
Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, today we're going to be covering artificial intelligence, specifically how the real estate agents and the industry is starting to use it. I'm going to share my examples of how I prompt it and command, because you really have to guide artificial intelligence. So I'll be showing that with you guys. And then video editing. Video is a big piece of today's puzzle, marketing puzzle. You need the video. And one of the hardest parts of video is actually doing the editing. That's what holds most of us up from actually publishing it, because we're not happy with the way it looks and feels. So I'm going to be sharing with you my easy on-the-fly method for creating video.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
My good friend Lucy just popped in. Great to see her. So welcome.
Good to see you too.
So Lucy, just come up here quickly. We just want to introduce you because you're a very special guest. Right? Just come right up into the camera here. Just come right in here.
If I knew I was going to be on camera,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I
I
couldn't help myself.
Hi.
She comes all the way from Mississauga. Good friend Danny and I. Right? Down into the screen so they can see you here. Right?
Hi,
Say,
everybody.
introduce yourself. Say who you are.
I am Lucy Bioka. I am a mortgage broker, and I've known Daryl for how many years now?
Many, many years.
Oh, it's got to be at least 10
Right.
years, and it's been a while. I've been trying to get out, and I'm just happy to be here. Thank you. For
We're happy to have
you. Thank you.
So thank you. Give her a hand, guys.
Thanks, guys.
So you just never know what's going to come about. So as I say, always be prepared for whatever happens, the unexpected. So Danny, what motivated you to integrate? You're already, he was a young, bright genius as far as I'm concerned. First met him 20 years ago. And I'm not going to ask your age, but you're still a young guy, but it seems like you've been doing this forever, right? So what made you integrate AI into the real estate industry? And how is it revolutionary the way realtors can operate today?
Sure. Yeah. So I've always kind of played with AI and chatbots over the years, and it was always gimmicky. It makes you look kind of silly if you have it responding on your behalf, and my experience up until December of last year was always that it was a novel idea, but nothing we could actually use in real world business. Then Chat GPT came about and it launched, and that thing is like, I relate it to almost like we're witnessing electricity being invented, and this is year one. So we haven't even started with what's about to be around the corner. And so what, because I have to experiment with things, I and learn and teach the real estate industry.
He's like a little boy in a toy box, trust me.
It's a sandbox. So I was playing in the sandbox over the Christmas holidays of like, what is this Chat GPT? Because it hadn't even blown up yet. Like it wasn't in the media, it wasn't in the news. It was like really fringe type of stuff. And so I'll give you an example. And this was my very first experience with AI, artificial intelligence. I purchased a tour bus. I move month to month to a new city, and I chase the good weather. And then when COVID hit, I stopped doing that. So I ended up landing in Vancouver, British Columbia. So I've been living there since. And so because I was living there, it doesn't really snow in Vancouver. That's one of the draws of why
You never got stuck in that motorhome.
yeah, it's one of the draws of why I parked there. And anyways, I met our neighbor, and he's a 4-year-old or 5-year-old little boy. We just met him over the Christmas holidays, and it snowed like this much, like really deep snow. So I'm like, I'm going to take this kid tobogganing for the first time ever. So I asked his parents, I'm like, hey, do you guys want to go with us? We're going to go tobogganing. And they like the idea. So what I did with artificial intelligence was I gave it all of the bullet points of our experience that evening. And then I asked it to write a children's book just to see if it could. So with no other instruction other than me giving it bullet points, this is what it spit back. And then my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, this is real. So this is the book that it created with only bullet points. So imagine you gave it bullet points of your listing and you wanted it to help you write up your listing description or a blog or social media. That's how you would use it in business. But this was me just playing. So I gave it like the name of the child, how old the boy was, the name of the boy's dog, the experiences of the tobogganing and all the prep that we had to do to get ready to go. And so this is the story. It was snowing during the winter holidays, and Esmond, a young boy alongside his dog named Lola, were gearing up for their next adventure, sledding on the biggest hills around them. But first, they needed the gear. Esmond grabs his fresh batteries from his walkie-talkies. Testing, rubber ducky, checking in, Mama Goose, you read me. Rubber ducky, over. But what about the clothes, Mama Goose replies, as she searches for his warm pants, gloves, jackets, and boots. Don't forget the snacks, Esmond yells as he grabs his favorite treats from the pantry. We can't forget our map to chart the quest, and most important, the sled to carry everything with. So they secured all the cargo like Santa coming from the North Pole, using the ropes to tie cargo with, bags and containers for storage, tucking away loose ends for the trip ahead. Looking at the map, they scouted the biggest hills nearby. The first option was the closest, but it was also the most daring. They must have been brave that day because they didn't hesitate hiking through an old growth forest. Ancient forests have 200-foot trees, stumps as large as cars, thick layers of moss draped like carpet, animals, plants, insects, and more. The hike should take 20 minutes by foot, but add an additional 15 for the added effort of stepping in the deep snow and pulling the weight of the sled. Now, the boy was in a hurry to get to the destination, but the dog was enjoying every moment in between. I'm not going to read this whole book, but it legitimately wrote me a book based on our experiences, and all I did was give it bullet points. And I'm like,
And how long did that take? A few minutes?
it took me longer to write the bullet points than it took the AI to write the book. The book was written in about 2 minutes, maybe. Right? That's what I said. I said, wow, so this is something interesting. So I started playing with the idea of like, well, how else can I interact with this AI to use it in a practical sense in business? How could we use this? Well, I'll give you a couple examples. I did a webinar just like this not too long ago. And in the chat section, everybody was commenting with their name, their phone number, their email. But it was like maybe you type out your email and then 2 other people would comment and then you type out your phone number. So for me, it would have been a very big administrative task to go through that chat log to copy paste the phone number, the email, match it up with the name. Instead, I used ChatGPT and I just dumped the whole thread right in there. And I told it what I needed. I said, I need a Google Sheet with first name, last name, cell, and email, match up all the data and delete the rest. Done in 30 seconds.
That's it.
Yeah, it just did it for me.
So how do you foresee AI shaping the future of real estate in the next decade? This is only the first year we're in.
Yeah.
And you already see a lot of big changes happening already.
Mhm.
So what do you think, picturing sitting here today, we're sitting here 10 years back and looking in and seeing what would we be seeing?
Well,
a lot of people see us not sitting here. The AI guys would be sitting here.
right, that
Right.
could be part of
You
it,
know?
actually. So it is very scary, AI, artificial intelligence. Like, is it going to take our jobs? Is it going to blow us up? And the answer is probably. Like, I don't know what to say. Have you seen Terminator?
I've seen Terminator.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, okay, if you don't want to use AI, let me just get a gauge of the room. How many of you use Canva? Yeah. How many of you use
Half the
Spotify?
room.
Yeah. How
half
many?
the room.
Half the room. How many of you use Netflix or Google? Yeah. Oh,
Netflix, I think everybody uses Netflix and Google.
yeah.
Right?
So you're using AI, whether you want to or not. They're all using AI. So everything that you're using as a consumer now there's a big arms race with AI built right in. An example of how we did that with a client was she wanted to filter all of her closing dates for October, but some of her closing dates for buyers that purchased a home. Some of them had purchased 10 years ago, some of them 2 years ago, and the filtering wasn't working for her. So we created a rule using AI that whenever she updates her database with the closing date, AI took the date of, because when she added it to her database, it put the month written out like as a word, October. So we told the AI on any of her closing dates, take the month, rewrite it as a number, and add it again. So it was doing the administrative task once we created that rule. So you can start creating rules and it will watch out for whenever that happens. When this happens, do this. And then once you create the recipe, it's automated, right? And it's intelligent recipe because it's not just black and white. It actually knows logical words. So it knew the word October, and then it also knew to write out the number 10 for the numerical number of October, which is 10.
Hard to believe it's like 26, 27 degrees. It's October 2nd. Amazing.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be like this all week. So for realtors who may be skeptical, not only realtors, I think anybody who may be skeptical, can you share some tangible benefits you've observed from leveraging AI in your real estate practice and in your marketing and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'll show you guys live examples. So the main one you're going to want to use is ChatGPT is the primary one. There's a bunch of them out there, but I'm going to say, I mean, Nike and Adidas.
That's sort of the main one.
Yeah, that's the main one that you're going to want to cream of the crop. It's the smartest one on the platform right now, ChatGPT. So here I am. I'm on OpenAI is the company that started it, and ChatGPT is one of their products. They have multiple products. So you'd want to use the free version of ChatGPT, which is 3.5.
We use the paid version.
You don't got to pay for it.
Right.
But if you are paying for it, you're going to be using number 4, which is awesome. So the thing that people experience with AI is that there's a rule I like to say, garbage in, garbage out. So if you ask it a garbage question, it's going to give you a garbage response. And you're going to be like, oh, this is stupid. It doesn't really work. And it's only because you don't know how to operate it. I have to give you the understanding of how to work with AI. So I'm going to give you a live example. So I'm going to say, and can you see the screen up there? Yeah. Okay. So act.
Is it better to
as,
shut these lights out, Napoleon? Let's shut these lights out, then they can see it better. So we're live in here. We're on a big TV screen. So it's just, I want to make sure they can see it on the big screen. It's easier, you guys at home that are watching it. So the other thing I want to so how does AI streamline the daily admin tasks that realtors traditionally spend hours on? That's going to be part of this that we're going to teach now?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll show
cool.
that in a second. So I'm going to tell it, act as a real estate agent. So this first part of my prompt.
Well,
so here's the deal. ChatGPT, they basically scraped all of the internet. Everything that was on the Wikipedia, encyclopedia, everything up to 2021 is in ChatGPT's brain. So when you ask it a basic question, it has all of that data to process. So I'm front loading the front of my question is to act as a real estate agent, and that's going to filter out most of the clutter, because do we care about mortgage stuff in Spain or France? No. Do we care about plumbing issues in Brazil? No. There's like so many continents, languages, and topics that it can be thinking about. So I have it act as a real estate agent to start with.
The local realtor,
Yeah, you could even say Toronto.
Toronto realtor, Toronto GTA.
So I'm telling it to act as a real estate agent and create a 60-minute presentation. And here's the big one. Outline. So by having it write out an outline, I don't actually want it to create my presentation at first. At first, I just want to see my blind spots of what are the potential talking points that I could leverage in my presentation. So create a 60-minute presentation outline for first time buying. All right, so I'm going to have it start that. Certainly, here's an outline for a 60-minute presentation on first time home buying, introduction, a brief about real estate agency. The next one is the basics of home buying. So it's going to talk about first time home buying, owning versus renting. So it is now writing out all of the bullet points for my presentation. And I'm going to pick one at a time. I'm going to do a deep dive, one topic at a time. So I'm not going to just write the whole thing. I'm going to stop generating because you get the idea. I would actually keep going and it will create your outline. So let's say I like the idea of let's say I like which one? Advantages of owning versus renting. So all I'm literally doing is copying this one out, and I'm going to add the word research. So I'm typing the word research, and I'm going to literally what it already typed out, advantages of owning versus renting. So now I'm going to research just that one part of our
Now we'll give this to our client that we were talking to.
Right? Yeah. So now it's writing out the advantages of owning, and then it's going to also do the renting side of things. So it's doing like the pros and cons for me. So I'm going to let it write this part out for me.
So this is one of the questions I was going to ask you that, can you share with us before and after, after AI drastically improved content creation for all real estate listing? So just asking some questions there we took, and then we did a subline, and now we're doing a whole story on renting versus owning.
Yeah, just that one piece.
Just like that. So if you and I were to write that out, that's going to take me an hour to write out probably.
Right. Okay. So now that it did the research on the pros and cons of renting versus buying and vice versa, now I can say, please write a YouTube script. Please write a YouTube script and add humor.
그걸로 연결시키면 더 좋을 것 같은데.
It's going to,
yeah, some of the ones that you guys don't have, right?
Yeah, like Daryl. Just okay. So now it's writing out a YouTube script. Opening scene. Host stands in front of an open dryer pulling out a single sock. Host says, okay, this is the last straw. Where's the other sock? Voiceover. Welcome to the top 10 theories behind the grand mystery of our age, the missing sock. Why is it talking about socks?
I don't know. Someone could throw that in there.
I want to stop that.
Yeah, we got to stop. It's off track.
Why did you
talk about socks?
What?
Change the subject.
A script for. I want to go back up to that one.
So this is a good question I want to ask. What are the common pitfalls from using AI from content creation, and how can one avoid them? So here's the question I want to ask. We were talking about one thing, and something about that came up, and it changed its algorithms. Something totally different.
Because I stopped it when I was halfway writing the first thing. So if I had to let it finish, it would have been more logical. Anyways, there is a major pitfall. And the pitfall is Google hates these guys. And so they're doing everything they can to discredit any content that you create using artificial intelligence. So that's one pitfall, is that anything the AI gives you, I'd never want you to just copy and paste and done. Hit print. You can never just claim it as your own, because one, Google can read the way that it's written and it knows that a human didn't write it. They have a formula for that. So you
They have their own computer.
Yeah, a smarter one, actually. So this is just what we have access to as like regular consumers. You can imagine what Google has access to because they've been at it a long time and they've got a way more powerful one, but it's not for our use. So they can actually tell by the pattern, the words that it was created with AI. So I picture it this way. The AI helps you to get all the ingredients together and put it all, but it's still up to you to put it in the oven and bake it and make it your own flavor and add your own icing on top of it. So that's one pitfall, is never to just copy and paste, done. The other thing is that AI is wrong. I'd say 30% of the time. So within this hour, because I'm going to be doing a couple things with you today, there's at least 3 more times it's going to be wrong. And if you just roll with it, imagine you had AI writing your contracts, or don't do it, right? We're all going to say don't do it. But imagine you had it doing that and you don't know that it's wrong. Because it sounds like it knows what it's talking about. 100% of the time, it is authoritative. It is like, this is it.
It's a bully.
Yeah. So that's the biggest pitfall, is that with the user isn't going to know when the AI is wrong. And so if they just roll with it, there could be major consequences depending on how you used it.
So my advice to someone, if they're going to be using AI, then they should do a little bit of their own research the old fashioned way. And just to make sure AI is giving you the right information and adding to you the positive things versus taking you somewhere totally in another direction. As we just seen in that little demonstration where it was going like this, giving us a perfect little story versus renting. And then someone mentioned or creative or opportunity, it just changed and went in a totally different direction. So, you know, if you're just sort of lazy and not really paying attention, and then you just throw that out there, it's going to be very embarrassing and it's going to look really stupid. Yeah. Right?
So definitely take it and make it your own. Also verify it. If you have it talking about mortgages, have your mortgage rep read over it and get them to co-collaborate on that marketing piece. You know what I mean? Like leverage it for all that it's worth. So here it wrote out the YouTube script now. It apologized for being dumb about the socks. And then it says, here's your script. Opening scene, a host standing in front of a game show set with 2 doors labeled owning and renting. Then the host says with enthusiasm, welcome to the grand game of home sweet home, buy or rent, where you find out whether it's better to put a ring on it or just, you know, keep things casual. And then the host, so that's because I told it to be funny, so it was trying to. And now it's going to go through the little game. And this is now a YouTube script that you could do about buying versus renting. So I really like that first hack I showed you where I showed you the outline, because it gives you all your blind spots. If I like that piece, I like that piece, I like that piece. And then you can craft your story and you have the AI help you research each piece. So now I can say, great. Please turn this into a blog. So now it's going to rewrite that from a YouTube script, and now it's writing out just a written blog for you. So once it's done writing this written blog for me, I'm going to then have it recreate that blog and break it down into a 4-part social media series. Post 1, post 2, post 3. So let's just let this write its thing out here.
So we don't want to let it change its mind. So I'm just going to ask Danny another question.
Yeah.
So, you know, with so many tech tools available today, how do you decide which ones to adopt and which ones might be just a passing trend? I don't think this is a passing trend. I think this is just the foothold of something that's going to really like be a rocket ship, just take everything to a whole new level. So and there'll be a lot more changes moving forward.
Yeah, AI is definitely not going away now. And it's like, is AI going to take our job? The realtors who are using AI are going to take your job first. And then, I don't know if it's 5 years, 10 years, but why would Zillow not have AI doing all of the work and then having a real human rubber stamp at the very end? That feasibly could and probably will happen. It makes sense that it will, because the AI is just getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And then you can actually train it on your clauses, on your market, on your stuff. So I do believe that AI is going to be an integral part of all industry. The ones that are getting hit the hardest right now is copywriting. They're having a hard time compete because a lot of people that were paying for copywriting are now just using this because it's like you can whip up so many recipes and stories and stuff. The other one is images. So stock photography. I'm going to be showing you guys how to create images using AI. With your own written description, you can make any image you want without any Photoshop skill or any skills at all. The only skill required would be your own creativity on how you ask for what it's creating.
So how do you strike a balance between leveraging AI for efficiency and accuracy and ensuring you don't lose that human aspect of the reality of ourselves and everything else, right? Because, I can clone it to the way I speak and you can put a little picture of me and you almost think it's me, but we don't want that totally to take over me because the king is the king. Danny Wood is Danny Wood. Everybody wants their own DNI. So how do we get it to clone as well as we can without losing that aspect of us being us?
So you use it as a tool to help you get over the staring at a blank screen. If I have to write up a listing description, if I have to write up a social media campaign, if I have to create a follow-up plan for my buyer leads and my seller leads, staring at a blank white document is paralyzing for most, so they don't go forward with it. So you use the AI to help you get over that hurdle, but it's not done. You still take whatever it gave you and make it your own. Yeah.
So you got to tailor make it to your final touches. Right?
Exactly. So here it wrote up, what was it? This is the blog. So it turned that YouTube script into a blog. And now I'm going to say, please take this blog and make it a 4-part social media campaign. All right, let's break it down. So now it's taken that blog and in a matter of like 60 seconds, I'm going to have 3 or 4 articles or postings for my social media.
Now, what if I was to ask it, how's the Toronto Blue Jays going to do in the playoffs? What would it be answered?
It would tell you the truth and say it only knows up to 2021.
That's it. So it can't tell me like what the stats are and how we are in paper and how we stack up. No, I think we stack up pitching defensive wise with everybody.
Well,
right? Hitting we're a little light on.
If you gave it the current data and told it what your question was, then it could probably help.
So right now it's not going to help.
No, if you gave it the data, so you'd have to actually enter all the data into this chat. I don't know what that data looks like, but
yeah.
But if you ask a generic question, it's going to give you a generic answer. And I'll show you an example of that right now. So, okay, here it made me 4 social media posts based on that one blog that we had just written up. All right, so what was my thing I was about to do?
We just asked you had the one thing and then you broke it into 4 different scripts. And then I talked about predictions and stuff like that.
Oh, right. Okay. So the generic question. So if most of you are like, oh, I need a new real estate bio, I don't have a good one written for my website. Most agents would come to ChatGPT and say, I need a real estate bio. Whatever. You would be pretty much that vague. And then what's the answer that it's going to give you? A vague answer because you gave it a vague question. So instead of me hitting enter, I'm going to say, before you answer, please ask me what questions you have so we can produce a better response. So most people would just ask the first part of it. I need a real estate bio. Instead, I'm telling it before you actually answer and give me a real estate bio, ask me what questions you have. So now it's going to come up with a bunch of questions. All right, name, title.
So the AI is asking you the questions.
Yeah.
So I'm the AI. So Danny, what are some of the things that I would be using that I could write up about you?
So it's writing up here. It wants to know my name and title, my experience. How many years have I been in the industry? Do I specialize in any niches, such as luxury, first-time buyers, commercial property, whatever? Education and certificates, any of your achievements, your personal touch, local insights, testimonials. So it's writing out. And when I actually answer with these questions, then it will start and write me a real bio because it has real information to work with. but most people don't use the interaction where you pretend like it's a colleague and you're co-collaborating together. Most people think I just go to AI and tell it what I want, done. It doesn't work that way. AI can't know everything. I mean, it does, but it
would be
can't know.
impossible without giving
Right.
some fulfillment. It's like it needs like the encyclopedia to get its information out,
Mhm.
right? Because otherwise it has no information. So if you're giving it a blank piece of paper, write me a story in that blank piece of paper,
It will, but is it going to be good?
right?
It would actually start, and I don't want it to start. So I'm going to co-collaborate with it again, and I'm going to say, I'll answer one at a time. And when I'm done, I'll say the word start. And only at that time do I want you to start. And then it'll wait. It'll, because I'll be able to answer each question. Because every time I answer, I hit enter and that sends it. And I don't want it to start writing my bio because I still have like 10 more of its questions to go through. So I just gave it a command telling it wait until I say the word start. And then it would wait.
So what do you see the interaction of reality and technology in the next decade? With the potential of AI continuously growing, what other industries do you think could benefit from a similar tech revolution as we're seeing in reality today?
I just want to finish writing that.
You want to repeat that?
Yeah, you might as well. I wasn't
So
listening.
where do you see the interaction of reality and technology in the next decade? So with the potential of AI continuously growing, and we're on the infancy stage of it, what other industry do you think could benefit from a similar tech revolution as we're seeing in reality?
All of them. It's actually going to be a weird world where we don't know what's real or fake. There's going to be a time when videos made by Daryl King, they're not going to be him and it's not his voice. It's literally written by your team. They upload a script and it looks like a video of you. Sounds
They
better.
already did that.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of hackers today, because it's a lot easier for the hackers to hack you today. They get your video, they got your voice,
Oh man.
and it's just become a hacker's world out there. So you got to be very careful. I mean, if anything, you got to make sure that certain things that you're doing, that you're really keeping privately and not sharing that with anybody, because they're becoming massive. Like I said, you know, people say, "Are you doing this?" And I'm going, "No, it's not me," right? So someone's did a little clone and put that out there, and you've seen that probably with other of your friends. You know, that's not me. I've been hacked. So you got to be very, very careful, and it's
Yeah.
going to get worse before it gets better.
So it's already at a tipping point now. There's I think there's like 300 Facebook accounts that are totally fake, 100% AI. AI, the images are fake, the content is fake, and everybody's following them and don't even know that it's not a real person. So they're starting to use that as a test because they're going to start creating actors are going to be AI because they don't have to fear the actor going all AWOL on drugs. Plus, the actor will stay forever young at that certain age and look. Plus, they have total control of what they say. So it is going to get really weird for sure. Now, I'm not going to share with you how we can get weird with it. I want to share with you how we can just use it for
Win and use it properly.
yeah, because
Right.
it's here. We're not going to get away from it. So this is why, to me, Google is dead. Why I don't ever go to Google anymore. I've got the OpenAI app on my phone and I ask it questions instead of Google. And here's a question I ask. I'm telling it to research grants and funding for youth in Ontario, Canada, who want to start a business. All right. So in a matter of legit 30 seconds, it's taking all of the grants and youth entrepreneurship programs and summarizing it for me in point form. If I was to go to Google and do this Google search, how big of a rabbit hole and how much time would I be spending going down that rabbit hole? A lot more than this.
Yeah.
So I don't use Google anymore. I legit go to ChatGPT and I ask it its questions. When I'll tell you a quick story. I was in high school and I wrote up a business plan and I didn't know where to send it. So I literally looked up the address of Parliament Hill and I put a sticky note on the cover and I said, I'm a youth in Ontario. I'm looking for funding to start a business. If this lands on the wrong desk, please pass it forward. 3 years later, I get a phone call and it's like, ring, ring, is Danielle there? I'm like, Daniel? And they're like, oh yeah, sorry, Daniel. Is Daniel there? I'm like, yeah, I'm Daniel. And they're like, yeah, we got this thing on our desk. You're looking at grants and funding. We actually have a program we're starting. We want to invite you to an interview. Well, I was the only kid who applied. So I got $13,000 that I didn't have to pay back and a year of government training to start a business because nobody else applied for the thing. If I had AI back when I was in high school, I would duplicate myself and be having all the grants because people just don't show up and like apply. They don't apply for things. They don't even know that it exists. So here I went to Google and it just summarized for me summer company for ages 15 to 29, you get $3,000. Futurepreneur for people between 18 and 39, they get up to $60,000. On this one here, it doesn't say a number, but now I can do research on each one. That's why Google's dead. And that's why Google hates these guys.
Will you imagine that the wealth that Google has, it's probably one of the wealthiest companies out there. And their art of living is technology. And now you have a startup company. It's not a startup, it's been around for a while, but now it's Pandora's box has just opened up and it's changed dramatically with chat, right? So it's accelerating at such a stage. You realize Google took a number of years to get to where it got to, where this is going to outpace Google in probably a few short years, right? Like,
yeah,
outsource it.
AI. So just like our phones, they double in processing power, whatever the computers, the AI is learning at such a rate that I feel like it's every 2 years. I don't know the actual number. I'm making this part up. I heard that it's about every 2 years it doubles. So right now in December when it launched, it was at a university student level of any topic. That was day one. That's how it started.
Ask where it is now.
Well, it won't answer because
it's not 2021.
Right.
Right. So right now, so one of the pitfalls of what you talked about is, we're in 2023. So its database comes from 2021. Now I heard and understand that they're working to catch that and speed it so it could get later database.
Oh, once it's hooked up to the internet
Right.
and has live access to the internet where I could say, what's the weather in Tallahassee? And it'll know the answer. Once it has that connection, it's going to be way more powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things they're working on. So you got to realize what type of research you're looking at. If you're going to think you're going to use it as CMA, it's pulling stuff up from 2021.
Right.
Right. So there's certain things that you're still going to have to do and maintain it. But like I said, in a short little while, and I don't know what that would be, but I imagine within a year, they're going to be up to date to the minute pretty much.
Well, so Bing already has their AI live and connected to the internet. And so that one is actually active. Yeah. And that is a dumbed down version of ChatGPT because Microsoft invested in OpenAI and they bought 51, something like 50%. I don't know if it was 49 or 51, but they paid billions of dollars for this. And it's totally going to change the way search is done in the future. I want to do a little experiment. How many of you, does anybody in this room have a listing coming up this week? Like a brand new one about to hit the market?
We just hit, I think that we had 3 of them, just two on Saturday and another 2 today for sure.
Okay, so I saw some hands at the back there. What's the area that listing is in? Etobicoke, and then what's the community? Because like normally it's like not just Etobicoke, but there's like the part of Etobicoke it's in.
Where? Clareville.
Okay, so I'm going to say, do you know the Clareville area in? Did I spell it right? CLAIRVILLE. You can't see it. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to search it. You know the Clareville area and Etobicoke, and I probably should have said Ontario. Yes, I'm familiar. Etobicoke. Okay, perfect. So now that I know, I just wanted to make sure it does know before it gives me a bunch of garbage. So I'm going to, oh, actually, let's see what it writes up. Because what I want to do is I want to create a blog post for you about that area. you got a brand new listing that's hitting that area. Isn't it heartbreaking when you take a brand new listing and then you do a Google search on that listing and you see another company like maybe Zillow or maybe even another franchise and their website is outranking you?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
real bugger. So if you want to get around that, you have to have fresh original content because that website and that realtor, they're only working with the data that came from the MLS. So what that means is you need more rich content. So, all right, so it does know that area. So I'm going to say, please write a blog about and I'm going to copy and paste the Clairville area. Okay, so I'm saying, please write a blog about the Clairville area in Etobicoke.
Now, this is only going back to 2021. So any new utilities or things that are extra in there, like, you go out to Ajax and that they got all the new development going on there. That wouldn't pick that up yet today, right? So you need to do some of your own research of your, it's not to write 100%. It can write maybe 70%. The other 30%, you need to take the latest trends and what's going on in that area and put it into your own spin and add it on to there. That way you're going to be much further ahead, but don't depend on it largely by 100% because most agents will just get lazy and just say, hey, just write this. And you're not going to be 100% accurate or up to date of what you're putting out there.
So I just asked it, I said, please write a blog about the Clairville area in Etobicoke, specifically for somebody thinking of buying a home. What points do you think we should cover? I'm thinking the schools, transportation, parks. What else can you think of? So now it's coming up with more options for us to work with. So I'm going to pick and choose the ones that I like. Let it finish. All right, so that's finished. And now it's writing a blog based on all of that data for the Clairville area in Etobicoke. Now it would be up to you to verify it doesn't know what the heck it's talking about because it makes stuff up all the time. And you don't know, if you don't know what's wrong, then whoops.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to maybe do 70% and you do the other 30% of the updated information on there and then check its accuracy.
Yep. So let's do one just specifically about the schools. So I'm going to say.
So how would a client react when they learn that certain aspects of our services are utilized by AI, right?
Well, they should be impressed because they want somebody who's
latest
cutting
technology.
Edge. Yeah. If we can advertise on Facebook, we're going to advertise on Facebook. If we can utilize artificial intelligence, we're going to use artificial intelligence.
So how do you maintain that personal touch with the clients in an industry that's rapidly digitalized? Still word of mouth by
oh my God.
Call?
That has never changed and never will change. It's definitely the voice-to-voice phone call. Calling people on their birthday, calling people on their anniversary, sending pop buys, like doing a pop buy, face-to-face stuff, client appreciation events. That is where your referrals come from. You don't have to remind people that you're a real estate agent, you're the number one. You just got to remind people that you're alive and you're their friend.
So we had here's a great one. On Saturday, we had our final at the summit, our fall stag. So, I like to support local. So supporting local, we get all the local businesses from all walks there. Everybody's from real estate agents, lawyers, dentists, doctors, warehouse people, whatever, that are members there. So I always sponsor. It's just my way of giving back. So we ended up sponsoring for $25,000 for a hole-in-one. So the gentleman, I never met him before. He was from Woodbridge, Gabby. And, it just happened. Me and him were on the practice screen and no one else was there on a fall stag. And we shook hands and I wished him the best of luck. And we chatted for a little bit. And someone came out on the 16th hole and Mike comes out, the pro, says, he won, right? So everybody's all real excited, whatever. So the only thing I asked him to do is I said, if he can donate $1,000 to the people that work there, right? To the pro shop and stuff. They don't make a lot of money. So he graciously, he was only supposed to win 10,000, it worked out to be 25,000. So he thought he only won 10,000, but it was for 10,000, but it was for 25,000. So he graciously donated the $1,000, right? So I was really excited because now the people that work there, they got $1,000 they can divide with them. He got 24,000 that he can celebrate with his family and friends. And you know, everybody was really, really excited. So giving back. Now, artificial intelligence couldn't take place of that, right?
Not yet.
So you know, unless they're going to go make the money, right? But that's a personal touch, right? So you always got to listen. Artificial intelligence is going to take a lot of things. You know, they might have been able to write up a speech for me, you know, to say congratulations and thank everybody.
So in the early stages, because right now we're in like the dinosaur era of AI, our kids are my kids, whoever, whatever, they're going to laugh at where we're at right now in 10 years, 20 years, because it is going to be actually like we're going to have our phone is going to have an AI assistant built right in that is going to know you, everything about you. You're going to co-collaborate. You're going to be able to create rules and recipes. It's going to get there for sure. So
for your cookbook, your AI could help you out. Like if you got people coming over for dinner and say, hey, you want to mix up something really quick and how could I instant recipe, right?
So my mom, I was trying to prove to her how cool this is back in December when the AI was tipping. And so I'm telling her, I'm reading her the story and she's like, oh yeah, it's a good story. She still wasn't impressed. So then she's like, yeah.
Old school, right?
So she's like, can it help me with cooking dinner? And I'm like, well, I don't know. What ingredients do you have? So she just rhymed off like 6 ingredients of raw material of like, she had like some sort of cooking stew, meat, beef, whatever, potato and
onions, carrots.
So then I came to the AI and I just gave it the ingredients of what we had. And I said, I need a recipe for 2 people. I need 4 different meal plans. And the one person is allergic to, I forgot, I made something up. And it actually created a recipe with the ingredients we need, how to cook it, written up on the spot. And then and they were mostly like stew and soup recipes. So then I told it, redo this. I don't want soup. So then it came up with a stir fry and like 3 other ones on the spot. So that, and the other one that really helped my mom believe in this was her Keurig coffee machine broke. So I told the AI to act as an appliance repair person for Keurig coffee machine not heating up and to diagnose different possibilities. And it actually created a factory manual. And one of them was the answer.
That's amazing.
But if I didn't tell it to act as an appliance repair person, because it has all the real estate knowledge, law knowledge, golf, sports, all knowledge, I had to tell it to summarize its thought process. And I said, act as an appliance repair person. Boom, that deleted like 80% of the content in its head. And then I specifically told it to diagnose the problem and give me options.
Well, I used to love to cook, and I used to always be cooking. I had all sorts of cookbooks.
Yeah.
Like I have about 10 different cookbooks, and you know, and I say, okay, well, I'm going to make something, and I would just look at the cookbooks, whatever. So now, as all I got to do is ask AI, right? Chat, boom. Here's the things I'm going to use.
Yeah.
What's the best temperature? How long should I cook it for?
Yeah.
Here's how I would like to come out, and it's going to give me verbatim right there. So it's going to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot more different chances of doing different menus.
I've had to do things it created an exercise program for me. I told it to act as a real estate coach. I said, act as a real estate coach and create a 1-year business plan for a brand new real estate agent, specifically focused on generating leads.
Write that down, Hannibal.
And no paid options. I don't want to do paid advertising. Give me all the freebies. And it created a whole game plan on your first year in business as a real estate agent.
So you think, guys, when I first started real estate, we didn't have this. I was showing some of them a tear sheet. I should show you this tear sheet. We used to get an 8.5 by 11 tear sheet, and there was 4 listings on that tear sheet, and it had 2 little holes that you would put into the binders. So we didn't have computers, and once a week we used to get these big yellow books I used to pay for, and it would have North District. So that's what I used to pay North. You get one for Central, one for West, one for East. It only come out once a week. So by the time it came out, it's already old, right? It could be, but houses didn't sell that fast then.
Right.
Houses sold an average of 45 days, mostly. It took you 45 days to list it, to sell it. It was an average of 45 days. none of this 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever. That really didn't happen too often. So, that's how the listings came. And then I remember getting my first phone. It looked like I was in some big thing. I had this big phone like in the G.I. Joe or something like this, big walkie-talkie like this. And then the first one I got was a Motorola, which went into my car like an actual telephone. And these are only 1.5. That telephone in my car was 3.0. So the clarity on that was unbelievable. So I could call people on that. But you think this has more power, your little telephone, than the rocket ship that went on the moon. So, you think of where AI chat is coming from, it is just absurd. Like, as fast as you can think, it's already got it down to what your mind is thinking, as long as you can put it out there. So, some of the things, ethical considerations, I think of as we learn more on AL and algorithms, how do we ensure fairness and transparency in reality processes? And are there areas in real estate where you believe AI shouldn't play a role, right? Because being ethical and transparent, we have strict codes and regulations, so we have to make sure that we're following them to the T. So, where this AI could just do shortcuts and get you in a lot of hot shit. Right?
That's what I'm saying. The AI shouldn't be doing your work. The AI is just a tool to help you create your work.
Compliment you.
There will be a time in the short future, maybe 2 years, definitely 5, where we are going to have full autonomous personal assistants that are true AI. It's going to be here. Can I share one more prompt example?
Yeah, of course, we love that.
So I just wrote out to the AI here. I'm saying, I'm a real estate agent and really want to connect with people on a personal basis. Everything is so tech heavy these days. Please give me 20 ideas on ways and reasons to personally call, text, and visit my clients face-to-face. Absolutely. Building a genuine personal connection can significantly differentiate you in a tech-heavy world. Here are 20 ideas, 4 reasons to reach out and connect with your clients on a personal basis. Birthday call, anniversary, local market update, property tax reminders, maintenance reminders. So those are phone calls. Now it's giving us a couple text examples.
Event recommendations, simple check-in, home improvement trends, local news, holiday wishes.
So say you like the idea of going, doing like Brian Buffini style
Popeye.
Yeah. I need 20 Popeye ideas for the month of October. I need 20 Popeye ideas for the month of October. Certainly.
Well, we have Thanksgiving coming up. We have Halloween. 2 big things, guys.
So here we go. Pumpkin carving kits, Halloween decor, apple cider sachets, candles. And these are all ideas of reasons why you could go face-to-face to a person.
Decorative corn or Halloween treat bags.
Yep.
Autumn wreaths, homemade pumpkin bread or muffins, fall cookbook.
So it's actually going to give me 20 ideas, and I can just say, give me 20 more. And I could just keep doing that. And it's just going to keep spitting them out, spitting them out, spitting them out until you find the 3. You're like, oh, I really like that idea. I really want to do that one. You could even give it examples of things you see other agents doing and just describe what it is and why you like it. And then tell it to come up with 5 more ideas based on that. So you can use that. Things that inspire you. What are the things that you like? What are the things that make you say, wow, I wish I was doing that? Give it here and then see what it says. Like interact with it, have a real conversation as if it was Daryl or me or somebody else. You can actually talk with it and go back and forth and find something.
Spooky movie night package. I like that. Right? S'mores kit. I know I just got back from Lake Tahoe and I stayed at the Hyatt and I was there last year also. So they have big fire pits out there, and you get you come in and one of the things they give you is a s'mores kit. So a lot of the people go out at nighttime with their things out there and they go eat their s'mores, right?
You know what my favorite Popeye kit idea is you can buy clean, unused pizza boxes from Amazon and you get a whole bunch of them. And then you go to the dollar store and you can fill up a box for like $5,
Not anymore.
to $8, $10.
Dollar store cannot be called dollar store anymore.
Yeah.
It's 3 to 5. 3 to 5. 3
Yeah.
to 5 now.
So one of
Doesn't exist anymore.
my girls did this for Valentine's, where she made a Valentine's night and chill box. And the week leading up to Valentine's, she delivered it to everybody in her farm and everybody in her database. And when you pop open the box, it had a pack of licorice, a bag of popcorn, because she bought the big Costco thing of popcorn, and then she put one in, and it was a whole kit. And then on the box itself, she had stickers made up, stamped it, and then that was a face-to-face pop by. She said it cost her like $6 to $8 a box, and her clients absolutely loved it. And you could do that for any season, not just Valentine's.
Hey, if you want to come by with a little pop by with me with a pizza box full of goodies, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right? I never say no. And if you get ice cream in there, even better.
You know what's cool about the pop-by idea is it gives you a reason to get face-to-face with them. Plus, you get their address. If you get a person's mailing address, you can then add them to future newsletters and future direct mail. But by you going there once a year and dropping off something in person, it's establishing you're their friend in the business, because they all know 3 other realtors. Every single person I talk to knows at least 3 realtors.
At least.
Yeah.
72,000 realtors in the Toronto Real Estate Board. The prediction this year was it might hit 60,000 sales. So think of in the peak, we sold 113,000 homes and there were 72,000 realtors. So a lot of realtors are going to go awful hungry. So unless you start doing something different or start working, you're going to starve to death. So, you know, and Brian Buffini, and it started even before Joe Stump started it with the pop-by things. And now Brian's taken it to another level. And, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive. It's the thought. Listen, I used to always have a little box in my trunk, and it was always full of little chocolates and stuff. So when COVID came, that stopped it all. But whenever there's an area, then I say, okay, you know what? I haven't seen these guys. I'm just going to drop by, say hello. If they're home, great. I hand it with them. We'll chat for a while. If they're not, I just write a little card, leave it at their door, and go. But everybody totally appreciate it. You just call somebody up. I just remember calling somebody up that used to work with us. They used to work at the front desk, and they used to give me the biggest smile I can imagine. I used to love coming in the morning, saying good morning. And she'd say, oh, good morning, whatever. And it just warmed me up, right? So, you know, she works for new construction now, and she's done very well. So I called her up the other night. I was just going through my phone, and it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I hadn't talked to her in a while. And I just called her up and see how she's doing. She's got a new fiance. She's going to get married. And so we chatted for a while, and she thought it was very nice. She called me back within 40 minutes or so and say, I have a project for you and your team, right? So that's the one in Aurelia where we're going to go up there by bus and go check out, right? Just by making that one phone call. So who are you going by every day, or who's you're not picking up on the phone? So maybe you should go to AL and say, who's on my database? I haven't talked to in a while, right? On your CRM. I think you go into your CRM. Yes, no?
Yes and no. Mostly no, but yes. They're not going, most people aren't, that's the way.
No, I'm not saying AI to call it,
No,
but just for us to remind us
You'd
who's got
have-
a birthday at this time, or who's
You
got an
just-
anniversary around this time, to throw us in and remind us out of
Yeah.
our database.
no.
No?
The yes and no. That's very advanced to set that up. Generally speaking, I'm going to say you guys aren't going to do that. You could, but no, it's going to be hard. Everything's possible. Anything's
We
possible.
have it in our CRM, but sometimes staff forget to put in anniversary dates, birth dates.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to.
Right?
So sometimes you may miss them. Me, unless someone reminds me it's someone's birthday, I don't know whose birthday it is.
Mhm.
Like certain people I do, but for most I can't remember. I need someone to remind me.
This isn't AI. This is just going to be an everyday practice that you all should do going forward.
So write this down, bingo tip.
One of the challenges you guys are going to face is you don't have everybody's address, you don't have everybody's phone number, and it's hard for you to make these phone calls, and it's hard for you to make these pop-bys. Play along with me and open up your phone. So unlock your phone, open it up.
They're probably already on it anyway.
Yeah. Go open up Facebook, specifically open up the Facebook app. Okay. And then hit the search bar up at the top. When you do a search, you can type anything
right
you want.
here, right?
Yep, that one. So type the word
Look at
birth.
his name come up. Daryl King Team, Real Estate Information Hub.
Nice.
That's us.
So search birthday, and it's going to pop right up at the top. It's going to be a green cake. All right. So I'm going to search the word birthday. So it's showing me all of today's birthdays today.
Well, I did. On the way in, I wrote happy 16 birthdays when you're following me.
All right. So Daryl he had somebody's birthday came up and he sent them a message on their wall. Now, if you go to a person's wall on their birthday, how many other people posted on their wall saying happy birthday? Hundreds of people. So you don't really cut the clutter. So instead, what I do is I will click on the person's. So here, I'll just do Kathy. It's her birthday today. So I'm going to click on Kathy. Now I'm going to hit Kathy.
I don't know.
And no, I won't do Kathy because let me do another one because I don't know who Kathy is. Wendy. All right. So I'll do Wendy. So I'm actually opening Wendy up on Facebook Messenger because I know today's her birthday. So check this. Wendy, send message. All right. Now, when you are in the Facebook Messenger app, you can actually press and hold the microphone and it actually records your voice like a voice message. So I'm going to leave one for Wendy. Hey, Wendy, what's up? It's Danny Wood here.
And Daryl King sitting along beside him in front of a bunch of other people.
That is true. We noticed it's your birthday, and I just wanted you to hear.
We want to wish you a happy birthday. Everybody, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Wendy.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, I'll explain later. All right. So she just got that message. So every day I pull up all of the birthdays, and maybe it's like 8 a day, 10 a day. I can leave those voice messages without pants on, without combing my hair, without shaving my face. Because
he lives in the forest, so he could do that.
That is true. So one of the things preventing you guys from doing video is I don't look good. I didn't comb my hair. I didn't shave. I didn't dress up, whatever. You can leave those voice messages. I do 8 a day, 8 a day, 8 a day. They don't even know what I look like, but because they're hearing the tone of my voice and how much fun that was, that's totally going to light her up. And she actually owns a brokerage. So now I'm going to try and get her to book me as a speaker because she probably laughed about that. And so, because if you send a person a happy birthday on their wall, it's flooded with everybody else's message. But if you send them a private message saying, hey, happy birthday, I just want you to. So this is my actual script. So I would say, hey, Wendy, it's Danny here. I noticed today's your big day. It's your birthday. I wanted you to hear my voice and to say happy birthday and to let you know I give you full permission to eat all of the cake. All right, have a good one. Click. And by me saying I give you full permission to eat all of the cake, that's the number one thing people respond to, like, oh my God, I ate all the cake, and they're laughing about it. And it's such a simple little touch. So that is you being a human as a real estate agent, making that personal touch, and it's not automated. It is not robotic. It's just pure fun. And I do it when I'm walking the dog. They don't even know that I'm like not in business mode and wearing track pants.
You can be sitting on your treadmill and just have it in front and just throw it out there, right? I like ice cream personally, but it's hard to have ice cream all the time.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is one of the things I was just going to ask you, how do you maintain that personal touch with clients in the industry that's rapidly digitizing? So you can do the digitizing to help you remind me about someone's birthday or anniversary or something like that, and just add that personal touch. You imagine being that person at the other end of that call, how excited they'd be, a bunch of people wishing them happy birthday. And people say, oh, I don't care about my birthday. Everybody cares about your birthday. It doesn't matter. It is your day. And it only happens once a year, right? When you're younger, you partied from that day to the next year, 365 days. Just as you get older, you take some days off, right? But everybody loves their birthday. Their birthday is their day, and it's only your DNA, right? So
that voice message tactic I just shared with you, before I actually leave the voice message, there's a click to call. And when you do that, it rings on their Facebook Messenger like a phone. And most people don't answer, which is fine.
Do it on mine.
Yeah.
Do it live.
All right.
Let's check it out. I'd like to see that. I didn't know that.
Today your birthday?
No, but we can say I think every day is my birthday.
I'm just messing.
You look at the walls on here. I had the painter come in Saturday to paint Erica's new office. And so it got patched up. I'm going to paint this here. So I was talking to my sister and I said, I got to go see a dermatologist. I see a couple little marks I want to get removed. So I created that thought pattern. So yes, I seen a dermatologist. So in my face, you'll see a bunch of little pock marks, right? So it's something what you create, you think about, you create. So, and that's why having this on like my Facebook, I had 16 people that me and you coming in this morning, I wish them all happy birthday. Every day, I wish people every happy birthday or whatever. And on our staff and in our clients, we wish them happy birthday all the time also.
I'd
like to see this one live, because I didn't know about the search.
Okay, first of all,
it's not my birthday today. I believe I'm blessed every day. So my 2 feet hit the ground.
I open up Daryl on my phone, Facebook. I just open them up, and here's all of our chat because we do talk to each other through Facebook Messenger. Up at the very top is a picture of a camera, and beside that is the phone. So I would click the phone.
That's a Messenger.
Yeah, so you're a messenger.
I'm on Messenger.
There, it's ringing.
I'm on Messenger all the time.
Exactly. But most of your people, you don't have their phone number, so you can't call them on their birthday. Well, now you can call them on their birthday because it just rings on Messenger. And then when I'm on the phone, when I'm actually connected with them, I'll be like, oh, what's your phone number? I don't even have you saved in my phone anymore. And I get their phone number. So it's an organic way to build and grow your network.
So last night, Danny and I did a little video up at Lake Wilcox, just the two of us chatting and saying that I'd be in the office, whatever. So me and him were watching a movie last night. We were sitting there watching the movie. I was just on Messenger, just forwarding that message to a bunch of people. That some of them are on here watching it on Zoom today. And Lucy was one of them, right? Lucy was actually one of them.
Today's your birthday?
No, but she came in on Messenger.
Right.
I had texted her about it, so she actually came in, right?
Oh, well, thank you.
So,
Unexpected.
Just things that you don't use that's there for you to use all the time.
Not to go down a rabbit hole, but I want to share this with you as well. So if you look on the screen up there, you're going to see I'm on Facebook. And in the search bar, I'm going to type in.
Like you're hiding a door or something. What are you doing there? Creating a story there.
So I type in the word birthday. So here's the word birthday. So I'm going to click on that. And what it's going to do is here's today's birthdays. So if I scroll down, keep on scrolling, upcoming birthdays. I'm going to keep on scrolling. I'm going to go down. Okay, October. So I'm going to click on this.
October birthdays.
So when I hover over this person's, where is he? Roman. Okay, so I'm going to hover over that. Look at that. I'm hovering over his face, and what do you see on the screen? Birthday, October 11th.
Yeah.
Well, is it October 11th? No.
Yeah.
So this is a way for me to look at next month of just glance and be like, oh, his birthday, her birthday, and you can actually pre-program all of the people's birthdays in your database as well.
So the great thing about Danny and I, that we have a lot of mutual friends. I wish you go on and see how many mutual friends that we have compared.
Oh,
I'm looking
I can.
to October, right? And Facebook, it'll tell us. Does AI do this?
No.
This is still.
There you go. Here's all of our mutual friends.
But doesn't it normally tell you a number?
Yeah.
Right.
Right now.
But I know it'd be in the thousands that me and you
Yeah.
are together for sure.
Yep.
We ride the same circles.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's shift gears a little bit. I'm going to keep it on AI, but this time I'm going to show you how we use artificial intelligence to create images. So the main tool that we use for that, it's called Midjourney. There's other products and programs that are out there, but this is the easiest one that's the cheapest. So if you don't want to get into computer programming, even though that's what this looks like, if you don't want to get into advanced software, just use Midjourney. So let me go and log into Midjourney. And before I do that, I'll show you some examples of how we used it. All right, so here is an example. I had a client that is doing a client appreciation event, and he was renting a hockey rink for his clients. And his fear was that some of the children were going to be too small, that they weren't allowed on the ice. What do? So we used Midjourney to create a coloring book and see all the images of houses. That's not stock photography. I legit went to Midjourney and I told it, in this case, I want a black and white illustration of a house in October, coloring book style. And it created this image for me. that I have the rights to use. I can print this, I can use it in my marketing, I could even sell it if I wanted to. So with Midjourney, we were able to create this little coloring book that he handed out to all his clients. Another example of using Midjourney was here. So see this little magazine we created? So this is a magazine, you put your logo, your website, your name. See the picture in the background of the window with the flowers?
Yes.
That's fake. That's not even real. I went to Midjourney and I said, I need a bright, clean, modern kitchen with a view and flowers. And then it gave me this image. So why would I go on stock photography and hope that I can find that imagery when I can just directly tell the AI what I want? So I'm going to go and do a live example of one.
Now, you have to pay for this app imagery?
Yeah. So this one,
It's a paid app.
yeah, I think it's like $20 a month. So where we use this is for our YouTube thumbnails, our blog posts, and our social media. We use Midjourney to create the images for us.
So I mentioned to you last night, he was showing me, I forget what app it was. What happens is we have so many apps, like on my phone, I open it up, I've got like, it's just like RAM, right, full of apps. But
Yeah.
how do you control from all your apps? Like some you use, some you don't use, right?
That's up to each person. It's so subjective. Well, I mean, the stuff you use it. The stuff you don't, delete it. Yeah. Okay, so you can't, I don't know if you can read. I'm going to, oh, here's an example, by the way. See this cat? That's fake. I literally said studio lighting of a brown Bengal cat with spots, contrast and detail, and that's what it gave me. That's not a real cat, and that's not a Google search that you'll find online. So here,
Hey, he's got a great cat, Bill Murray, man.
I do, he tells me jokes.
Where's your cat?
Bill Murray. He's not in here. Okay, so I'm going to tell it a modern white kitchen with a beautiful view and flowers on the counter. Version 5.1. And I want this to be for a story. So I'm going to have the aspect ratio as 16. Oh, no, 9:16. All right, so watch this. I literally just did the search. It took my command. Here it is here. It's waiting, and I'm going to predict in under a minute. Oh, it's already started. So now it's actually searching all of the internet for modern white kitchens with beautiful views and flowers, and now it's stitching it all together with its own little brain. So let's see which one we like.
You could call AI, you could call Daryl King and we'll be just as quick. Right? If you're looking for a nice kitchen, we've got a house for you.
So you could do this for your social media where you do like, would you rather A or B? And you have a black kitchen versus a white kitchen or whatever. Okay, so here we go. Let's open this up. All right, now I don't necessarily like the view because where do we live?
You got the ocean.
Not here. We don't live here. So I am going to do.
I like the view. I love water. Water's amazing.
All right, so I'm going to change that.
You know, before those trees grew so thick, I could see the water behind me. Now they're so thick. In the wintertime, I can see it.
Okay, a modern white kitchen with a beautiful view of, garden. Garden and flowers on the counter. All right, so now it's taken the command. It's going to think about it. It's searching all the images that are the words that I've typed up. And here we go. It's starting to make that image. I'm going to assume the bottom left one is the one that's going to work. Oh, no, the bottom right one looks pretty good too. 46% done. 62% done. 78. All right, here we go. These are actually going to work. I would actually use all of these. So let it finish. All right, so it's finished. I'm going to open it up in full. And which one do I think would work the best? It depends, but I actually really like this one. So I'm going to go with number one. So because I like number one, I'm going to upscale it. So U1 is now creating a high-res version of this photo. And say I like this, I can just roll the dice. And now it's going to create 4 more white kitchens with a view with flowers. And I can just keep rolling the dice until I find an image that works perfectly for what I need. I don't need to search. And here's the other thing. So I'm going to do that, a modern white kitchen with a beautiful view, blah, blah, blah. So this is why this beats stock photography. Watch this. I'm going to do that same search, but this time I want to say oil painting style. So now instead of it being a photo, it's going to be an oil painting of what I just described. And now if I'm making a book, I can have all the images in my book have the same theme. You know what I mean? I could do an oil painting, I could do concept art, I could even be specific with a particular artist, and it will do it in that artist style. When I wrote that book for the child, I actually had the AI create all the images for the book. Of every page, we had a different scene. So I created different scenes of a boy and a dog sledding down a hill, or the boy and the dog making snow angels in the snow. And I created it all based on Tim Burton art style. And it was very cool and funky. I couldn't get that on stock photography. Okay, here is a beautiful kitchen. And the bottom left one is an oil painting. That's beautiful, actually. And the bottom right one is an oil painting. This one has an oil painting on the wall, so it got a little bit confused. It's a real photo with the oil painting. And then same with the second one. It's got the oil painting on the wall. But the bottom two, I absolutely love the bottom right one. So I'm going to say, I want to upscale number 4. However, I want to zoom out a little bit. So let's wait for this to create number 4 for me. Or maybe I can do it on the... No, I'll do this one. Okay, so I am going to do a couple things. I'm going to zoom out. So now it's redrawing this, and it's going to have more of the kitchen in the frame. So watch, it's creating it because I zoomed out. I also want to make a square version. So I'm going to hit make square. And just for the fun of it, I want to make variations of it. So I'm going to hit make variations. And look, it's now it's got like 5 jobs on the go. And in a matter of 30, 40 seconds, I'm going to have the best of what I want. So let's get a look at, here's the kitchen to begin with. And you can see the flowers are getting cropped off. The edge of the counter is getting cropped off. If I scroll down, let it finish. See how it's like like more of the kitchen? And I can keep zooming out. Like it'll just keep redrawing and adding to whatever I need. The reason I like the zoom out feature is because it allows you to have negative space to write text. If you're doing an Instagram story, you want to add stickers, you want to add captions, you want to add buttons, you need negative space. So using this tool, you could create that.
So lots of times, like we get older houses, like I have one, I won't mention the address, but it's all original. And, you have virtual stage and you do virtual staging in that. Mm-hmm. But you could take the kitchen that's in there and have AI chat put in a new kitchen for you. Did you not?
Yeah, not on today's session because that's more advanced.
No, but I'm just saying. Yeah. But thinking outward and being advanced, I'm going to think advanced.
Yeah. Right? You totally can.
So,
man, these are beautiful. I actually want to use these. Like, I want to upgrade all of them. I like that. I like that. I like that. And so because it's like, the toy, the Kinder Egg chocolate, when you open it up and it's like a surprise inside. To me, that's what this is. When I'm shopping at Costco, I absolutely hate shopping. So when I'm being dragged to go shopping at Costco, the whole time I have the app on my phone and I'm just spitting out images because I know I need them for next week, for our blog, for my social media. And I can just get a whole batch done in a matter of a half hour while I'm being dragged along the store.
Utilizing your time.
Yeah, look at this photo. Look at this oil painting. Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Like absolutely beautiful.
You could write a story on that.
Now, how would you use images like this? So let me go back to that book I was working on. Right here. All right. So that first image, fake, it's not even real. That's not a real flower. That's not a real sink or a real view. That was AI creating that for us. Then I made a page about, hey, you should download our app if you have an app or some sort of tool that you give out as a resource. This is a buying a home page for your home buyers. And I use ChatGPT to help me write out all of the content that's on this page. And if I look at the photo, I'm going to cancel this, zoom in. That's an oil painting of a family looking at a home from the exterior. That's what I asked for, and that's what it gave me. It actually works really good for this article, and I don't need it to be the focal point of the article. I have the text over top of it. So we did a buyer page, we did a seller page, we did an investing page. So here's an investing page. We created a vendor list. So here's a list of my home stager, my lawyer, my junk removal, my electrician. So this is like an actual resource that you can hand out to people. And if I look at the photo, I'm going to do this and then hit edit, adjust. Somehow I blurred it because the AI didn't make it this blurry, but I intentionally wanted it blurry. But look, it's the backside of a bunch of tradespeople. I couldn't find that on stock photography. And even if I could, it'd be like $10 a photo if you found good stuff. But now, because of this tool, I can make as many images as I want until I find something that actually works. So that's that. I created a checklist. So this is a moving checklist. So what service do you have to move? When do you have to do it? And how do you do it? So when you have people that are buying and selling homes, they're going to have to move, they're like change their address and stuff. So I created a little checklist. So first of all, I used ChatGPT to help me create that checklist. So let me go over here and I'm going to say, I need a moving checklist for my home sellers. What are the things they should do leading up? I'll just hit search. So you can see this is what I wrote out. I need a moving checklist for my home sellers. What are the things they should do leading up to us getting the listing for sale? And it's giving me two options. So 2 months before the listing. So it's actually creating a checklist for me. So I took the moving checklist and then I created it here. I just copy and pasted the ones that I liked, the ones that made sense. I verified of like, how do they do it? Is it actually in person, online, blah, blah, blah. See the image up here? I'm going to double click it. It's actually a girl who's unimpressed and swamped with paperwork. That's what I actually searched on AI. I said, oil painting style of a girl inundated with paperwork and unimpressed. That's what I searched, and this is what it gave me. And it's actually a usable image that I can use. Then I created a page for testimonials because it's hard for you guys to get Google testimonials. So in the background, I actually searched for many stars, oil painting style, very colorful, and it created that background for me. On my social media page, I'm going to remove all of this stuff. All right. In this example, I said many people happy holding up their phones, oil painting style, very colorful explosions. And it created that image for me. That is not something that I could find on stock photography. So I got that. I have a calendar page so that people can book a calendar and a time with you. I have your contact page, which you put I'm going to give you guys this as a template, by the way. So this is a Canva template that it's free for you to have. I'm giving you the rights to do whatever you want with it. You can actually print it, and I'll show you an example of one that's printed. It works out to $2 a book. And it's like a real physical, tangible thing that when you meet a person face to face and you hand this to them at an open house or you're meeting them at a listing presentation, when you give them this book, who's going to stand out versus you and the other agents they're competing with? You are. So here in the background, if I remove all of the junk, that is AI made this, and I just asked for many homes in a village stacked on top of each other, oil painting style, and this is what it gave me.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah, so I liked it.
So video editing with Canva, the increasing importance of video marketing, how has Canva become a game changer for realtors? And obviously, this is one little example that they could be using. Like, how long will it take you? Less than 5 minutes.
Right. Well, it took me hours to create this,
but it's going to hours.
But that's because I had to do it from scratch, and I had to think of, we need a testimonial page, and what should I have written on it? So it took me time. Now that you have the template, it should only take you under a half hour because you just change your logo and face and your phone number and stuff. So it'll take you guys 20 minutes, but making it from scratch, it would have taken me days or weeks had I not had AI.
So providing some tips of making the most of Canva for video editing, and which you're doing right now. You already had these templates. Some of them.
We'll get to the video stuff right now. None of this is video. This is a magazine that's static and not movable. But I am going to open up Canva and show you guys how to do video editing for sure. So we'll put a pin in that one. I'll come back to it.
Okay.
So on this page, because when you print a book or a magazine, you have to have even numbers because every piece of paper is two-sided. So I created this as a filler page. That way, if your book turns out to be 19 pages, you really need it to be 20. So we added this and see the background of the pen on paper, AI. I use that on AI. And then the very back of the book, I asked for a white brick wall with green growth on it. And it gave me that. And you could even like say you don't have a logo. Let's do a photo. Here, I'll do this girl. And then I'm going to edit the photo and I'm going to do background remover. Instantly put it down there. There you go. Now on the back of the book, and it's a real book. Like it's a real book and you could just add yourself that way. So when do you guys do an email out to everybody who registered for this?
When do we do an email?
Here. Anybody who's on the Zoom call and anybody in this room, pull out your phone right now. Everybody pull out your phone. Scan this.
Where are we going to?
Scan this QR code. Yeah. I'll pull this up before I leave as well. But if you scan this QR code, what's going to happen is it should type out a text message to me.
You send today's info from there, okay?
Yep, hit send. There you go. So that actually is going to me right now as a text. So obviously I'm not going to answer you guys, but I will later on tonight. And I'm going to send you these templates.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll need your name and email. Please reply and I'll send it to you later. Till then.
So that's automated. But then once you actually do respond with your name and email and I send you the follow-up later today, that's actually me.
So one of the things he mentioned, whoever's here today, he's going to send us out the template. So,
yep.
You know, just for being here, we're going to have these that we can use them immediately.
And then your admin and marketing team, I'm going to give them a list of all of the templates for anybody who didn't scan the QR code that still wants it like next week or something. All right. So let me go back to Canva. All right. So
you're using the free version of Canva or using the paid app for Canva?
Right. So I use
there's a free version and a paid version. Obviously, you pay for something, same as AI chat, we use the paid version. And the reason that is because if you go into AI, you've got to wait and you got to wait and you got to wait. So it's not that expensive to pay for it and you can get in there, in and out much faster. And I imagine Canva probably works the same way.
So I would say Canva is top 5 tools that I would be paying for. It would be one of the last that I would cut off of my budget would be Canva because everything is
top 5 to use.
Yeah, top 5 for sure. Like your CRM and whatever. We've all got our own tools, but Canva, like you guys need to make social media. You need to make thumbnails. You need to make blog posts. I don't know. I just use it so much. And I know you guys should be if you're not. Yeah. Yeah, she says Canva's on your phone. It's easy. So, all right. Speaking of Canva, let's shift gears into the video stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So here.
So video editing with Canva now. We're going to switch cheers. So let's just take a couple of minutes before we change topic and see if anyone has asked a question about AI.
Yeah.
That way we just stay there. So anyone here right now in class, come up to the speaker and ask it on the speaker, Diane. Right? Oh, okay. Take her to the speaker there. That speaker, walk it over to her. She's got a bad knee. Right?
And I can repeat the question out loud.
So you kept saying
take the speaker off there.
Dan, you were saying how powerful AI.
On that speaker, can you guys hear her on that TV?
Yeah, they can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah. So Dan, you were saying how powerful AI was or is.
Yes.
But aren't they taking it from Google? And you're saying Google's going to be done, but all the information is coming from Google.
No. All the information came from the internet. Google doesn't own the internet. Google just owns our process as a consumer of how we search the internet.
Because Google has the most information right now, basically.
So it's
Right.
pulling from Google and a whole bunch of other places to build their own.
Yeah, basically any web page that existed, they're scraping it. They scraped it, put it all into their own database. Has nothing to do with Google.
Got it. I kept thinking like Google was the most powerful with the most information, but there is other means.
No, Google up until last year was the easiest for us to find stuff online until ChatGPT summarizes stuff better.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question, right? Anyone else that's here live with us right now that has a question that wants to ask,
And on
Here,
Zoom, you can
come up
chat
here.
and type it.
right? Just line up if you're going to ask questions. Say your name and introduce yourself. Let
Hi,
everybody
Dan.
know
It's
who you are.
Amal.
Hey,
We've met before.
yeah.
Dan, my question is, what are the top, what apps would you recommend that we have on our phone? Your top 3 for AI.
Oh, well, so ChatGPT
Okay.
is the first.
That's your number one priority.
Yeah,
You
that's-
got AI, and then you have chat, which is another extension of that. That's more advanced. That's help you. Is that right?
Right. OpenAI is the company and
Okay.
ChatGPT is the product. So when you search the App Store, just type in ChatGPT and make sure the one you're downloading is by OpenAI.
Okay.
Because if it's not, it's a third-party company that is using OpenAI. And now who are they? You're giving them all your transcripts and texts and questions and location and all sorts of stuff. So I would say the only one real app you need is that one, ChatGPT by OpenAI. And then if you want to do the images, Midjourney is the option. And when it's confusing
That's the one you just had here on that thing there,
creating
right?
the images. Yeah. But the weird thing about Midjourney is that they use a third-party app called Discord.
Discord?
Yeah.
So do we have to have that?
To do the images, to create images. Yeah.
So Discord is the app and it's Midjourney, right?
Midjourney is the company that is the AI that creates images, and the tool that you prompt and tell it what you want is done through Discord. The easy answer is just scan that QR code that I gave you, and I have a whole webinar on Midjourney, and part of it is how to get set up and rolling right away. So it's a little confusing at first, but once you've done it, it takes 20 minutes.
Perfect.
From beginning to end. And then after that, then going forward, you'll just use Discord on your phone to create the images.
Everything is
All
very,
right.
listen, guys, it doesn't matter what you do. You go to the gym, you don't know how to use the equipment, it's confusing, right? Anything you start for the first time is confusing. You do it again or someone teaches you how to do it, it's easier. And the more that you work with anything and the more you get involved in, the better you're going to get at it. You know, when you started playing with, I know how his mind works. When he's seen this, he was just like, I'm sure you spent hours and hours and hours in
Learning
there, right?
and failing at what prompts work, what prompts
Right.
don't work. Cause I didn't know that you had to interact with it and like frame your questions proper. Cause I too was asking basic stuff and I was getting basic answers, except for that book that blew me away. But there was total failures as well.
You're going to go through a lot of failures. You're going to go through a lot of frustrations. That's why I don't use it so much, because I don't have the time and patience sometimes. But that's why I'll get my marketing department and do it. Now my personal assistant, I'll let her work on it, and then they can teach me and I can expedite my process, right? So when you have spare time, when you're at home at nighttime, go practice, go play with it, right? Play with it with the kids, play with a husband or boyfriend or girlfriends, whoever. But the more you use it, the better you'll get at it, and it becomes that much easier. But at first, it'll be frustrating.
Big time. I was confused. Why would I need Discord to use a Midjourney app? It's just the way they set it up. So I had to download 2 apps and create 2 accounts with 2 different platforms in order for it to work. It's weird.
It's kind of like CapCut with Instagram when you're doing their editing the videos.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
question. Thanks.
Yeah.
Give her a hand.
Yes.
So for Midjourney,
Alex, who are you?
hey everyone. Yeah, my name's Alex, a member of the Daryl King team. Thanks again, Danny, for coming here and sharing your insights. So just a quick question. So using Midjourney and images that it spits out because of the prompts you give it, you don't own that, obviously, right? So anybody
No, I
that
do.
types in the same prompts would
Nope.
have the same thing, wouldn't they?
Wrong. So Midjourney has a variable number that's hidden, and you can control that. But because it's like rolling the dice. You and I can ask for the exact same prompt. We're going to get different results. It doesn't give you the same
So
result.
if he asks something,
Yeah.
and then you ask for something, I ask for something, we'll get 3 different answers.
Yeah, you're going to get 3 different images and you do have the rights to use it.
Okay. Commercially too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
As long as
Okay.
you're paying them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as you're paying. So what's the cost of who do we play?
Midjourney.
Mid-Journey. How much is that app?
I don't know.
$20 a month?
Something like
roughly?
that. Yeah.
20 months. So as long as you're paying, so I'll be trying to get this clear, guys, that if you're paying that app $20 a month, they're not going to say, hey, you're using it illegally. So if you're using their services, you're going to be able to use it. If you're just hacking them, you might get a little red flag somewhere.
You can create a free account and you get like 5 trial. Those ones you wouldn't have the rights to use like commercially. But when you're paying and you download it, then that I could put in a book. Like there's a ton of companies now that are making books, stickers, posters, and it's all AI driven and they own the rights to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Good question. Anyone else have a question? Guys, let's see who has ones. Anyone outside? Anyone from outside have a question?
Yeah. Brandon. Hey, Brandon, what's up,
Hey,
man?
Brandon, what's up, brother?
Okay. The
This is
question.
our good buddy Brandon that was with us before. I told him to come on today.
Okay, cool. What's up? So his question, what are the top ChatGPT productivity workflows that can incorporate into the listing presentation to get more listings? Well, your listing presentation is like kind of cookie cutter. Once you do it, you're going to be doing it over and over the same with all of your clients. So I would say use it to help you fill your voids. So what are so you could even ask ChatGPT, I'm going on a listing presentation. What are the types of questions I should be asking? Maybe that's one. There's 50 different people or 100 different people listening to this. They're all going to have a different listing presentation and different voids of how they would use the AI. So I would say, look at where you know you're falling short and start there because we're all different. Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any other questions there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
My name is Lian Ki Chua with Daryl King team.
Yeah.
Just a question about the authentic things about images and the pictures, right? Mid journey is that the pictures they get out is all not the original or whatever, because I can see that in the media about Tom Hanks declaring says those things out in there is not his original. So if we pick up those pictures, do we have to verify that those picture or images is not somebody that we worried about?
Yeah. So it's the Wild West right now.
Mhm.
And
Say it clarity because it was hard to understand. Not everybody's going
Right.
to hear
Okay,
that question. Repeat it.
his question is the concern of the image that it gives you that you're now using for your book and your marketing and stuff. Do we truly have the rights to be using it, or is it copywritten in any way? And the actual answer is it 100%. So what Midjourney did is they indexed all of the photos.
Mhm.
So every photo of a deer, a dog, a car,
Yeah.
a house, a flower, it scraped all that together and it's in a database. So then when you do your prompt, it then checks the thousands or millions of photos of deers. So there is a case where it will like take one of the deers and it looks super close to the original.
Mhm.
So this is what I mean by it's the Wild West, because eventually Disney is going to catch somebody using their animation
Exactly.
and they're going to be like, we got a bigger budget than you. You're
Yeah.
going down. And the
Yeah.
answer is yeah. So when I do my prompting, I avoid any name, brand type of things because you
They have
can't.
bigger money, so they can go shut you down quicker and faster and
Exactly.
you find.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
But for now, in theory, we do have the rights to use it commercially
okay.
until there's a massive lawsuit. And when it happens, it's going to come down on Midjourney.
Mhm.
And then it's going to just change the game and everybody's going to have new rules to play by. But the current rule is these are original, fresh pieces of work that you can use.
That's a great question, by the
Thank
way,
you.
you know, because a lot of people wouldn't even think of that, but it is so true because you see like lots of times you're putting out music and that, and you're in violation if you haven't paid for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, very good question. So, can you provide some tips on marking the most of Canva for video editing, especially for those who might not be tech savvy? Like, so a lot of people are really not tech savvy, right? So Canvas is, a fairly simple tool to use. I don't really use it myself, but I know we use it as a company for years now, right? We use the paid version.
Mhm.
So how can they use it simply and to their best usage?
Okay, I'm gonna make a copy of this because I'm gonna butcher it. So I'm gonna make a copy.
Let's kill the lights again and try going back. And if you got any other questions, guys, feel free to ask at any time, because I'd sooner have some interaction, because Danny could just talk and I don't know where you are or what questions you have. And that's why I said, even if you want to go back to AI, bring it back up, just put it in the chat and we'll address it, because I want to see if we can answer as many questions as we can, because when someone asks a question, everybody may be thinking about that and they don't know what it is. So it answers it for a lot of people.
Yep.
So feel free to throw it in the chat, any questions that you may have, and I'll stop us and we'll try and get them answered for you, because I'd love more interaction. Interaction is what it's all about, right?
So Canva, this is a Canva template that I want to give you guys. It's specifically designed up as a story or a reel. So imagine you're taking a listing and you're about to start promoting and sharing this listing. If I hit play, let's take a look at this video. It's got the house, and then it's just going to transition to the different photos. This is just like a really basic type of video.
Just a bunch of still pictures in there.
Or animated. The first one was an actual, watch this, it'll be using the zooming in the house.
So these pictures are still, or they're animated, or you don't know?
All of them are still, except for the first one.
Right, okay.
But
so the first one's an animated picture.
And you can change it. If you want it to be a still photo, make it a still photo. If you want to make it an animated, you just upload the video of like the home, right? So, okay. So here I give you this template, and let's just say you're happy with this. You're going to, obviously you want to change, like you're not me, so you need a photo, right? So you're going to upload the photo of yourself. I'm just going to do this girl, right? Okay. So here's the girl. Now I'm going to edit the photo. And I'm going to do background remover. Okay, I'm going to delete me. I want to move her or you down at the bottom. I don't want her head covering the MLS. So I'm going to make her a little bit smaller. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, cool. Her logo, obviously, you're going to use your Daryl King logo. So you're going to upload. So you're going to go to uploads, upload the logo. In this case, I already have a sample one here. So I'm going to add it, and then you move it. Now, the first time you open this template, you're going to have to do this jigging the first time around. So I'm going to add the logo, and then you're going to zoom in, and you're going to type out your phone number, your email, your name here. What's your title? Are you a broker? Are you a sales representative? Okay, so now that you have that template created.
So can I ask a simple question? And this is for everybody there. So you see he has the 8.5 page. But if you see the body of that person and you see ABC Realty, that's outside your page, correct?
No, this is, I made this the same as a phone. So this is for a story or a reel. And that white part that she's standing in front of would be white down at the bottom.
So that's in your page.
Yep.
The only reason I asked that question is because I see in the bottom right-hand corner over here, it looks like the bottom of your page.
Oh, there.
Right?
No,
yeah.
It's, so see that purple box?
Yes, that throws it in.
It was only because I was pointing to her.
So that's why I want to bring it up, just for others to see that if they're thinking of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're obviously going to change the address. So 123 Street. Obviously, it's not Oshawa unless it is. You're going to put your website. Once you're happy with that, change the bottom here and put it down there. And then, like, let's say we want a kitchen. So I'm going to, you would go upload the video of the kitchen. I don't have one, so I'm just going
to just use an example.
Yeah.
So this is your actual house. If you have like your own listing, obviously you should be using your own pictures for that, because that's what you want to be marketing, right? So your photographer should have already gone there and take the pictures. Now you can just put this on Canva as a little video.
Oh, this one will be real good. Watch. So I'm going to drag and drop this video, and see how when I hover over the photo, it's about to snap. Now there's the video in the background. So imagine you had that video in the background.
Now we just remodeled the kitchen. That was the old original kitchen.
Yeah.
So if you want to give somebody an idea, and this is what I talked about, that, you know, lots of times we get old listings and houses are not updated. So you could do two versions. You could say, here's the old version, and here's what it could look like if you just give it a little TLC and a little bit of money, right? So we've seen that old kitchen that was in there, that old white one, which is, you know, it was nice, but not so nice. Where now he pulls up this kitchen, which is ultra modern, looks like stunning. Now it has like a wow factor, right? So, you know, sometimes you got to give people some imagination because they don't have a lot, right? And I see that quite often. So it's one thing if I go to a property and I'm talking to someone, I can explain that. But if they're just looking at the property on their own and they've got an agent that's just, oh, this is the kitchen, right? You're sometimes you're not doing it justice because you're not giving them a vision. Because selling is a vision, guys. Remember that. You've got to give people a vision of what they can have, right? So that's what this is such a great tool.
Yeah.
Because it can give them many different visions.
Either a still image of the kitchen, or in this case, we're using an animated video. If you have the luxury of having really good video, you can just drag and drop that. Now, down at the bottom here, most of you are going to be in this view. Hold on. There. So most of you are, when you're looking at Canva, it's going to look like this, and you're missing the timeline. So the timeline is really important that you open it up by opening this little tab, because if you're, oh, I should start with one thing first. In Canva, I'm going to go to Canva. When you create a design, there's stories. Don't use the Instagram story. Instead, use mobile video. By using mobile video in Canva, it gives you more video editing options that don't exist in the other version of Canva. So there's different canvases within Canva that give you different abilities. Like you can create PowerPoints and presentations in one, you can create Word documents in another. Most of the time you guys are using it for creating static images for your social media, which is fine. But if you plan on doing video, it's very important that you specifically use either mobile video or video.
We use that.
So here in this case, I would do video. And the reason for that is because now I have a timeline down here that I can drag and drop audio. So if I go to audio and I drag this, I can actually drag it down. There we go. So now I've got my soundtrack added down here. You wouldn't be able to add a soundtrack to the other canvases that you're using Canva for because you're not using video mode. So if you plan on creating videos, then if you just use the template I gave you, I already set it up the way you need it.
So the video, the templates that everybody that's here on Zoom are going to get these templates that they could get for music.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could actually, for each slide, so imagine the image of the kitchen, the renovation, imagine adding your voiceover just to that part, talking about the stunning kitchen, used to be white, but we went modern, whatever, I don't know how
you could do what I see and what my brain articulates, that I could do a side by side, right? That here's the old and here's your visionary. So this is what you're looking at today. But with a little bit of work or this much money, you can make it look like this, right? I have a perfect house for that. That it needs a little bit of uplifting, right? It's a beautiful area. Outside is sunny, 3-car garage, right by the park. So, but inside, it's an original house that, you know, do all open concept, and it could be just like blow you away. Walk out basement, the whole bit, right? So the one that's similar to it's only 2-car garage. They're asking 3.2. We're asking 2.4. So, you know, you spend $200,000 or $300,000, you can probably have a nicer house than the one for 3.2 and in the way you want it. So the now and the after. So we need to do that. We'll talk about that one later. Right? So
you'll notice when I add a video, so say I'm going to upload a new video. So I'm going to go down here to videos, and this time I'm going to do the living room. All right, so let's just pretend this is the living room. So see my mouse wiggling around, how it says 2.3 seconds? when I change this photo to the video, it actually changed the length to 13.9 seconds. So what I want to do is trim this, and I'm going to trim it down to go back to like whatever, say I wanted at 4 seconds. All right. Now each video clip that you add is going to be a different length. So
that's one of the questions I want to ask you. What is the best time for video clips, and what's the maximum time you can have for a video clip?
Well, that's a can of worms because it depends where you're posting it. If you're posting it as a story, you're going to want it to be 15 seconds.
Story
right?
is 15 seconds.
Yeah, but if you're posting it as a reel, you're going to want it to be about 60 seconds. So if you're posting it to YouTube, and I wouldn't use this format because this isn't ideal for YouTube, you would use the regular format for YouTube. I don't know, 2 minutes. So it depends on where you're you might need to make 3 different videos.
That's why I want that.
Because you don't, right? You can't really have a universal video.
There's no perfect fit in a lot of these things with iChat, and all of that, right?
If there was, it would be square.
Right. So that's the beauty of it. You have to figure out really what's going to work for you and how much work you're going to put into it. Like, by putting it on 3 different sites, you can have 3 different videos on the same thing, and it's all going to look different. Because one's going to be 15 seconds, one's going to be less than a minute, and that one could be 2 minutes, right? So that way you're taking one platform and you're getting a much bigger audience. And that's really what you're looking for. If you're trying to showcase someone's home, the bigger audience you have, the better increase of buyers or other qualified agents with their qualified buyers that are going to help you sell that home. Right?
So I have a whole webinar that goes into more detail of how to actually do the editing, which would be
another class.
Well, no, I'm going to include it in that email follow-up I send you guys later tonight. I'll include that webinar.
Bonus! Woo! Bonus!
So I will, since we're here, I'll just show you some of the kind of sexier little tricks that you might want to know about. One is, where's this girl? This girl. Okay. So I just found a video of a woman looking at her phone. Right? No, don't know her.
We don't know her.
Okay. So if I hit play, here she is. She's looking at her phone. She is moving, but she's not. That's a crap. I'm going to delete that. Let's get a better video.
Something a little more sexy.
All right, let's do not the person.
No, just the video with more action.
Yeah. Age is just a number. All right. So here's this girl concerned and looking at her phone. So let me, because she looks concerned, actually, I'm going to say worried about the real estate market.
Interest rates rising.
Toronto. Okay, so I'm going to make that a much bigger font. Bigger. And yeah, I'm actually going to make it way bigger.
And she's not the only one that would be thinking that way. There isn't one person in this room that wouldn't be thinking that right now about the real estate market.
Okay, so let's make this super large font. Worried about. All right. Okay, so watch, there we go. This will kind of work. So I'm going to make this like that and then shrink it a little. All right. So let's just put there like that. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this video. I'm going to duplicate the page. So now I have page 1, page 2. So now on page 2, I'm going to edit this video. And I'm going.
Now who's going to edit the video? AL chat?
No, I am. Right now, what I want to do is I want to cut out the background. So I'm going to hit background remover. There, it removed the background. So now I'm going to take this video and paste it over top of the other one. They don't match up, but they will when I do the export. And now let me do one thing. All right. Now, hold on. Okay, I'll paste it. So watch when I export this. I'm going to download this video. I want it to be an MP3 video. The quality, because I'm posting to social media, 1080 is fine. Because even if you're like, oh no, it's 4K, even when you upload it to Instagram, it's going to be dumbed down to 1080. So you might as well just save your camera and all the storage. And for our time, I'm going to download that. All right, so now it's downloading. Now, because I had the video file of her, and then I made a copy of it and I removed the background, I sandwiched the text. So now it's going to have text behind her head. So as her head's moving around, it's going to cover the worried about real estate text. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
It's loading.
Yeah. All right, while that's doing that, I'm going to move on to another template that we're going to give you. So this one is for open houses. So say you have an open house coming up and you want to add the picture of the property. Okay, so I'm going to, well, what you would do is hit upload and upload the actual photo of the property. In this case, I don't have one, so I'm just going to do, oh, that house works. Drag and drop. Look at that, drag and drop. Zoom in, change. How many bedrooms? Is it 4 bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many garage? What's feature 1? Ravine lot, fully upgraded, new windows, whatever that is. The price and the description. And then on the second slide, I would start adding the images of the property. And now you've got a quick little video about your open house this weekend. So if I hit
This
play.
one's got a pool.
Yeah, well,
Listen, we went to the water park last night, 6 o'clock. The kids were in the water park. They're, woo! It was packed. The people were still up picnicking and outside. You know, it was amazing. 6 o'clock.
and say you don't like this brick wall background for whatever reason, you can actually just go to Canva and search. I will do photos, and then I'll put
No, I wouldn't like that too much.
white brick wall. Okay, so say I like this, I will drag it over and replace it. And you can replace it with whatever you want. I don't know. I'm just giving an example. You guys are Remax above the clouds, so maybe you want that. Sky, clouds, and then I will
That's nice.
drag and drop. Oh, that actually would work really well. Imagine we had a still image of the property. So let me go back to the property, and it's this one. So I'm going to drag and drop the open house that we're doing. And then I'm going to go to video, and I want to type in clouds. And it doesn't really matter, but
Right there.
I'll pick this one. So I'm going to drag that and drop it over top of the other image. Now when I look at that.
Look how nice that looks, guys.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to be on camera to make video, is my point, because most of you hold yourselves up. Yeah, right?
See how easy that was? I just picked a picture, boom, throw it in,
Yeah.
right?
So you guys will get this template as well later on. Okay, so let's see if our file...
Now it doesn't look so boring of just sitting there being
Yeah.
still. I think most people like to see movement, right? And I'm a people watcher, so I always like to go where there's action.
All right, I'm trying to find... Oh, it's still not done yet. Okay, we'll let that happen.
It's still running.
All right, so let's move on to another image or video that you might want to use. How many of you would like to get more bookings? People that like actually book your calendar. All right, so I'm going to make...
Want to fill it up for appointments?
Yeah.
Everybody put your hand up. 2. Come on, guys. Show them. Show them. Right?
Yes.
You need more appointments. Listen, the more appointments you got, the more opportunities you got. That's simple. You don't got any opportunities, you have 0.
So picture your email signature. How many emails do you send in a daily, weekly, yearly basis? Hundreds, thousands, I bet. Thousands of emails. So your email signature is just as important as your for sale sign. That is the most leverage that you have. So in your email signature, you should have things like book an appointment. And when they click the link, it takes them to your calendar. Now, the thing with your email signature is pictures are boring. So I'm going to show you how you can actually animate your pictures.
Pictures are boring.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're better than just a sentence.
Yeah, they are. Pictures are better than a sentence, and videos are better than a picture.
That's right.
And so
Bingo.
here's a template I created for you. If I hit play, That noise wasn't me. Oh,
Your truck backing up.
okay, so I'm going to hit play on this. So watch this. My calendar, it's got the animation of that, and then it's going to stamp my logo. Beautiful. Okay. So
that's a cool little logo, Mr. Dan Wood.
Thank you.
Mr. Bill Murray there.
I should. Yeah. So here I created this as a template. So obviously, maybe you don't like the word calendars. I don't know. Maybe you want to say book an appointment or whatever. So, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to delete that, double click, and you can say book a call or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can change this to be your own vocabulary and how you like to use words. So I'm going to leave it as my calendar. And then on the logo page, I'm going to delete me, upload your logo. So it's under here. And then you would just drag and drop your logo. And then I want to position it. See the crosshairs? It shows me what's centered. Sometimes it's going to be like way big. You need breathing room. I like to have like a good, at least this much space between the edge of the image and whatever your logo is. So let's make that a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. All right, now I'm going to
remember your brokerage has to be the biggest thing in there for your name or anything, guys, for technicality with RICO and everything else.
So that's the other thing. If in your email signature you have your company logo, which you should, why not turn it into a double dip where it's your logo and then flashes to your call to action? Logo, call to action, logo, call to action. Now it's the same amount of space, but now you're getting some functionality out of it. So this is really the only change you have to make is your logo. So now I'm going to hit share. I'm going to download this. I don't want it to be a video. Instead, I want it to be a GIF, which is a short clip with no sound. And let me download that. It is downloading. This one should be a bit quicker. Yeah. All right. So it's doing its thing. I'm going to wait in entirety because when you watch this recording later, I don't want you to lose our step. So it takes maybe a minute to get this downloaded.
We're still doing the other one still, right?
Yeah. I'll get back. This one's going to be quick though. So the reason I made it a GIF and not a video is for three main reasons. The video doesn't automatically play if you were trying to, and plus how big is a video file? It's huge. So this is a much smaller file. And the fact that it auto plays is the other main reason. All right, so it's downloading. Almost done, painfully done. I created multiple photos because maybe you don't have a calendar link and you want it to, maybe you really want to promote your Facebook. So here I have it, I'll just hit play. Oops. Let me hit play. So follow us on Facebook, a bunch of likes, and then it flashes to your logo. And then it would loop. So that's one example of your logo. The other one, maybe you don't have Facebook and you're like, I'd rather push my Instagram. So I created an Instagram one for you. If you want to push your YouTube, I made a YouTube one for you. It's your YouTube and then logo. And okay, so that's done downloading. So let me go to the downloads. Downloads. So here's my calendar. Good. Okay. Now you're going to log into whatever your email platform is. So I am going to assume most of you are Google. So I'm going to log into Google and I'll just go to my inbox. Okay. Up at the top, see the gear? I'm going to hit gear, see all settings, and then scroll down to the email signature part. So here's the email signature, and I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that image. So I'm going to hit this little insert image button. I'm going to upload what we just downloaded, and it's the calendar GIF. Uploading. I want to scroll down. I want to click on the photo because Google is really weird. They only give you this little like half-inch box to work with, but clearly that is too big of a logo. So I'm going to try what's large look like. Still pretty big. I'm going to do medium. So the medium one is actually going to work really well. No, I'll do large. Okay. Now I want it to be clickable. When a person clicks on the image, where does it go? All right. So I'm going to go to my calendar. So this is an example of a universal landing page that I created. It has my name, my phone number, all my contact info. When you click that button, it saves me into the person's phone. I have my quick links. Do you want to book me as a speaker? Do you want to book me as a coach? all of my social media, and all of my free resources and my calendar. So this is a universal link that I like to share instead of just one, because sometimes I want to share my social media. Sometimes I want to share my calendar. Sometimes I want to share my contact. So I created this as a catch-all. All right, so I'm going to take that link to, and some of you don't have that and you're like, I'm already lost. Well, whatever your calendar is, do you use Calendly? Do you use Schedule Once? You're going to have a link to your calendar. So you're going to copy that. Then you're going to go to the image that we just uploaded, and I'm going to highlight it until it turns blue. Click this little link, paste your calendar and hit OK. Then I'm going to scroll down here, and you have to make sure that, because Google, it's weird. You might have different signatures, so make sure you are using the one that you're happy with. And when I hit Save Changes and then Compose, look in the bottom of my signature, I got a big button that has the logo with the calendar. And if I click on it, oh, I have to send the email for it to actually be clickable. But anyways, you can see the links right here. And when they click on it, it goes to it. So you really got to beef up your email signatures. Like if you guys have a search listings page, if you guys have a house value page, like whatever your main call to action is, maybe you as the agent, you have your own like agent bio page, link to that sort of stuff, right? So I am actually going to go to my email, see all settings, scroll down, and I don't want that, so I'm going to delete it. All right. Save. Okay, so that other file should be downloaded now. So let me go to downloads. And here's the video. So I'm gonna hit play.
This is that one he did with that lady that worried about the real estate market in Toronto.
Yeah, so watch when I hit play. I'm hoping that her head goes in front of the text. So here we go, and I'm really hoping the text just shows up behind. There you go. See how the head is behind it? Imagine if you were doing captions or something. So in your video, when you're talking about fully renovated kitchen, blah, 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 you can have a video of you talking and the word kitchen show up behind your head. And it's such a simple solution. You literally take the video file, duplicate it, crop out the background, and put it back in. You'll have to watch the video to go through it once or twice to actually do it right. But it just like,
you just seen what it looked like. He just took the picture and then he put a little headline in there. And now he just did a little video there. Play the video through and they can see it right from start to finish. Not very long, but you see the eyes moving, right? The body's moving.
And it goes in front of the text. So you could have that as like your
and
captions.
It smiles even. She got good news. They're going to give her a better rate.
Oh,
Lucy's
yeah.
going to give her a better rate.
Nice.
Right? Way to go, Luce.
Nice.
Right? So we got to wrap this up, Danny. I know we've been going on for 2 hours.
I want to give you, this is the last tip I give you.
Right. Your last tip. So let's take this last note, stay awake.
This tool right here called Remaster Media, R-E-M, remastermedia.com. All right. So my biggest pain point with creating video is the audio is always crap compared to anybody else I watch on YouTube. Their videos are louder. Their videos sound better. Their videos are deeper. Everything about the video I hear other people do is like much better than mine.
And yours?
Yes.
Why?
And yours.
What? Come on. Son of a bitch. That's it. Cut him off right now.
So when you're about to upload a video to social media or YouTube,
that's going to be your job to make sure we sound better.
Before you upload it to
YouTube.
YouTube,
First day in the job.
You upload it here instead. And what this is going to do is it's going to listen to the audio and it's going to hear background noise and it's going to remove it. It's going to hear pitching when you're like making peaks and you're chipping the microphone. It's going to correct that. It just is.
So like you're in the wind and stuff. Like lots of time I'm
it'll
out
fix
in the
that.
wind. That's why.
Yep, it'll fix that, and it's going to make you sound like a podcaster with a deep, rich voice. Yeah, it's going to make you sound way perfect. The problem with a lot of our video is either we say we don't look good, sound good. The sound is such a hard thing to fix. Even with a really good microphone, you still have to do editing, and that you don't have to do it anymore. This is AI, and it fixes it for you. So when you pick the profile of how you want to sound, And then all your videos are going to sound perfect without you knowing anything to do with video editing. And you can just use your regular microphone built into your camera and into your phone. And it's going to sound like you've got a better setup than this. That's
Tell AI I want to sound like you.
maybe.
Hey, good for you.
Okay, so let me pull up that last screen, which is this one. So if you want those templates and everything, make sure to scan that QR code. It is going to be automated and say, I need your name and email. And then later on tonight, because I'm doing 5 cities in 5
So it
days.
might not be till next week. Let's give you time.
Yeah,
Guys,
no, it'll be tonight or tomorrow.
I'm just saying, I don't want to put the pressure on. Seriously.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm very happy and I come from full of gratitude that you did this for us, but I'm not going to put the pressure that we have to have it tomorrow and done. It'll be done when he gets the time, and
Yeah.
it's going to be guaranteed that everybody that's been on it is going to get a copy of it, stuff like that. Because I know he's got a very, very busy schedule. You know, he came in yesterday, he's then with the parents and with me, and then the next 4 or 5 days, he's just nonstop.
So far, 50 of you have done it. That's a big number.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for having me.
I want to thank, first and foremost, I want to take the moment and thank my good buddy Dan Wood. You know, he's such a young, bright mind. You know, there's 2 hours on a Zoom video, which is not very, you know, it's live and Zoom. Not very easy. It's a lot easier when you're standing in front of the class and you can point or do things like that. So I want to thank you for being here and showing up graciously and always helping us out. I want to thank everybody that came in here live. Give yourself a big hand, guys.
Thank you.
Right? And all the audience, I want to give them a big hand for being there. I hope all this was helpful for you. And I've been sitting here scribbling some notes as I was chatting, stuff like that. So this is Daryl King sharing with the mindsets with my good friend Dan Wood. And we'll all get a copy of this in the next few days of what happened here. So everybody take care. God bless. And we'll see you all soon. All the best. Bye-bye.